We got history, got me feeling the nostalgia when you look at me, thinking about what could have happened.
Hi everyone, I am Teacher Teresa. So for today's video, I will discuss about volleyball. Let's discuss the facts and information about the game volleyball. The game of volleyball, originally called Mentonet, was invented in 1895 by William G. Morgan, after the invention of basketball only 4 years before. Morgan, a graduate of the Springfield College of YMCA, designed the game to be a combination of basketball, baseball, tennis, and handball. So here are some significant volleyball events. So in 90s, a special ball was designed for sports. In 1917, the game was changed from 21 to 15 points. In 1928, it became clear that tournaments and rules were needed, so the United States Volleyball Association, or USVPA, now US Volleyball, was formed. The first US Open was staged as the field was open to non-YMCA squads. So the next is, in 1930, the first two-man beach game was played. In 1937, at the AAU convention in Boston, action was taken to recognize the U.S. Volleyball Association as the official nation governing body in the U.S. In 1984, the Women's Professional Volleyball Association was formed. In 1988, the U.S. men repeated the gold in the Olympics in Korea. In 1990, the World League was created. In 1995, the sports of volleyball was 100 years old. And in 1996, two-person beach volleyball became an Olympic sports. So we come now to the basic skills of volleyball. So we have 5 basic skills of volleyball. The first one is blocking, second one is serving, the third one is passing, fourth one is spiking, and the fifth one is setting. Serving, the act of putting the ball into play by the back right player placed in the service zone, making it has an integral part of volleyball match. It is very important that you serve with consistency because a highly effective serve will score an outright winning an ace. Every time that your team is serving in a manifestation that your team is scoring. In order to add more points, make sure that you are serving with accuracy and speed to get the ball into the court, targeting the defense's weakness. There are 2 types of serving. The first one is the underhand serving. The most common type of serving, especially among the beginners, where the players strike the ball from below, at waist level. In international competition, this type of serving is not generally employed because it is very easy to receive. Thus, there's no chance of having a winner ace. So the second one is the overhand serve. Unlike the first type of serving, this is more advanced and common among the skilled players. It is serve in which a player strikes the ball with his hand above the shoulder and the P. Identify several types of overhand serves, floaters, spins, and jumps. So the under overhand serve is jump serve. The ball is first tossed high in the air, then the player makes a time approach and jumps to make contact with the ball. There is usually much top spin imparted on the ball. So second one is float or floater serve. Ball is hit with no spin so that its paths become unpredictable. The toss must be just in front of your hitting shoulder at a height that allows you time to swing your arm and still contact the ball at full extension. Second basic skills of volleyball is passing. Once the ball is released into your team's court, either after the serve or hit over the net by the opposing team, The next move is be able to receive the ball and pass it to your teammates, preventing the ball from touching the court. Passing and receiving denotes the first contact of a team. Passes to a teammates who set it for the spike to hit into the opponent court, which is usually handled by the libero. So here are some types of passes. So the first one is forearm pass. An underarm pass that is first basic pass in volleyball, sometimes referred to as the bump pass, where the ball touches the inside part of the joint forearm at waistline. It is best used in receiving serves, spikes, play any ball at waist level or lower, and play any ball that has gone to the net. Second one is the overhead pass. After a bump or forearm pass, which is usually the first contact, a team's second contact of the ball in the 3 steps offensive effort is an overhead pass. In doing an overhead pass, the player holds the ball with both hands open, controlled by the fingertips above the head. The third basic skills is setting. An overhead pass that you execute to place the ball in a position for the attack is a set pass. It is the most efficient pass to be used, especially in a second contact hit, because a well-placed set enhances the attacking team's ability to gain an advantage over the opponent. Setter must be knowledgeable enough of his spikers, whether he will set the ball either before-ward pass or back pass. And the height of the set will depends upon the types of spike desired by the spikers. Sometimes a setter refrains from raising the ball for a teammate to perform a spike and tries to play it directly onto the opponent court. So this method is called a dump. Next basic skills is spiking. After the ball is set by a setter and the last legal hit made by the team that creates an explosive action inside the playing court is the attack or spike done by the skilled attacker or spiker. Most of the time, majority of teams' points came from a well-executed successful spikes. Thus, it is important to learn these skills and due to the many variables associated with spiking. Its timing is difficult and its success requires hours of practice. So, here are some types of attack or strike in volleyball. So, the first one is dink. This type of attack, though it does not create an explosive effect of attack, will be as important as of other attacks, because its target is to catch the opponent off guard when the conditions are not right for a more powerful attack. It is simply a legal push of the ball around or over the blockers. So second one is off-speed spike. As the name implies, its effect is similar to the dink, except that the hit is deeper into the opponent's court and placement is emphasized, rather than the power of the spike. It only requires less than the maximum force imparted at the contact, and its purpose is to disrupt the timing patterns of the defensive team. So the third one is hard-driven spike. A tremendous appeal for a spectator as it adds a great deal of excitement to the game because of the intense effect. Making is one of the most difficult of all sports skills to learn. This kind of spike requires a precise timing and approach, keeping the ball in front of your hitting shoulder and a sharp and forcible wrist snap to impact top spin to the ball placed directly towards the opponent. So the last one basic skills in volleyball is blocking. We all know that spiking is one way to gain more points, and whoever teams has the strongest spikers will have a greater chance of winning the match. blocking as defined under International Rule FIVP Rule 2017-2020 is the action of players close to the net to intercept the ball coming from the opponent by reaching higher than the top of the net, regardless of the height of the ball contact. Successful blocks will hinder your opponent's spike and gaining points once the black ball rebounds off the blocker's hands directly into the opponent's court, or if the blockers deflect the ball so that it goes high in the air on the blocker's team side of the court. So only the front row players are permitted to halt an opponent's attack, and they need to be careful because the most common blocking violation is touching the net. Block contact is not considered as a first hit. So here are some types of blocking. The first one is single block. One player blocks at a time, and it is often that enough to stop opposing attack. Second one is multiple block. A block where 2 or 3 players of the front row join together, forming a double or triple block, which referred to as multiple blocks. In executing the block, either a single, all, or multiple blocks, it is performed by jumping and reaching to penetrate with one arms and hands over the net and into the opponent's area.
We got history, got me feeling the nostalgia.